Why do you have a teapot?
Ah, you must be the renowned mercenary who...
You are the Virian!
Honestly, you should not have troubled yourself over the likes of him.
You should swap voices with Yuritsa.
My name is Lawrence Hellman Gloucester.
Like the
You will want to
mayonnaise?
remember it.
I like fire noise. That's good detail. Oh, that's cool. It's an old fancy blackboard on a fanciness thing. That must be really hard to move around. Didn't they used to have like wheels on the bottom for these ones? So otherwise, why wouldn't you just set it in the wall? That's a very pixelated house crest. Do all the NPC characters have the same hair colour for some reason? Yeah, they do. They're all brown or blonde hair. That is weird. Oh, I guess you're not an NPC despite looking like them.
Are you someone's guest? The dining hall's that way.
Oh my god, he's so beefy his shirt doesn't fit.
No, Raphael. That's Captain Gerald's kid. Hi, I'm Leonie Pinelli. Captain Gerald's first and
That's a
greatest
very
apprentice.
cute name.
I'm sure he's told you about me.
Oh, so you're basically like my half-sister. That would be so creepy if you were a romance option.
Nice to meet you. I'm Raphael Kirsten. Who are you again?
You have a very lovely smile. Oh, are you related to, what's its name, the head of Black Eagle's house?
So you're the skilled mercenary who saved Claude,
Yeah, you have the same hair and eye colour, so are you like descended from that country but you moved to this country?
Oh, you are? It's such an honor to meet
You
you.
were adorable, you have the same glasses as me.
Ignatz Victor. My parents are Alliance merchants.
Oh, neat.
I am Lysithia von Ordelia. Please do not forget
Yeah,
it.
you definitely sound very similar to Edelgard.
Are you that mercenary? Everyone's been talking about you. I'm Hilda Valentine Goneril, and her name is...
Marianne von Edmund.
Oh, it looks like I'm in the game.
Are you joining the Knights of Saros or something? Well, I look forward to seeing more of you.
Okay, so this classroom has their blackboards turned away. Does that mean anything in particular? Are we supposed to infer things about the houses from the details of the environment, or is it just randomly placed assets?
Oh.
Just hover over your friend while they're studying. Just stare deeply into their eyes.
What? I don't talk to strangers.
Okay, we have me as a Fire Emblem character number 2.
Bernadetta, this is no stranger. Our house leader owes this person a great debt. Is that not right?
Wait, does every house have like different representatives of the same archetypes? Because here we have a shy person and a posh person.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre, legitimate son of the Eyre family.
That's how you pronounce that? I thought it was pronounced like Aegis.
Are you going to join our class? I look forward to getting better acquainted with you.
Okay, so this fancy man is more polite and friendly. And this shy person is more scared instead of depressed, I suppose?
I am Hubert, a humble servant of Lady Edelgard.
Are you the fancy man? Does this house have 2 fancy men? That would make sense as a fancy house. The Fnaus.
I heard you came to the aid of Her Highness. You have my most sincere thanks.
Okay, I'm assuming you're going to turn out to be an evil guy, because in Fire Emblem, anyone who doesn't look like a generic, boring anime person always turns out to be evil, and I hate that. But if you don't turn out to be an evil guy, you look really cute, and I want to hug you.
This is Petra. She has come all the way from Brigid to study in the Empire.
I like your fancy tattoo.
Back on her archipelago, she is actually a princess. In
Oh neat, so
Fodlan
we're seeing
terms,
people
she
from
would be
other
prepared
places
to
outside of the
become-
Free Empires. That's nice world building to have, but there are still other countries out there, it's just we're only dealing with these ones in this particular alliance, I guess.
Hello. I am called Petra. I am pleased to be meeting with... I am pleased to have met you.
That's cool. That is nice, because usually in games, whenever they want to portray someone as being a foreigner who is learning it as a second language, they have like really over-exaggerated bad language speak or some sort of stupid stereotype like that. Here, just realistically, this is just a person who has this as a second language and she has trouble with the strange tenses we have in English. Because it is weird how you say, I'm pleased to have met you when you are currently meeting them. There's a lot of language rules in English that don't make any sense when you really think about it.
Is it true that you saved Edelgard? That's incredible. The name's Caspar, by the way. Pleased to meet you.
Hi! Are you a ghost?
Linhard, goodbye.
Are you a sass man?
Yeesh, Leonard. How'd you get into the academy with those manners?
Well, they're not exactly strict on entry.
So, are you a student here too? Maybe we'll be in the same class.
Well, aren't you just lovely? Is this your first time in the monastery? Shall I show you around?
Seriously, is every fan service character's personality just going to be, I am the fan service character and I instantly flirt with everyone? It's just such a boring way to write it. Like, seriously, even people who are super horny, they must not be, like, just only into people who say, hello, I am also super horny. Like, I don't understand it, because personally, I'm asexual, I'm not interested in either gender, but, like, doesn't sound like a very likable personality, I suppose.
Oh, my name is Dorothea. Before I joined the academy, I was a member of an opera company in the Empire.
Oh, well, that's a nice
You
bit
should
of...
hear me
At
sing
least she has some
something.
other personality traits compared to a teacher. Good. I hope we can only focus on learning about your opera stuff and not have you doing any weird and embarrassing flirting things, please.
Hey there. Are you the mercenary who saved His Highness?
You look really
It's an
similar
honor
to the
to meet
fancy
you.
guy in the other house, but your hair's more messy.
I'm Sylvain Jose Gautier. Feel free to say
Everyone
hi
has
whenever
really
you like.
fancy names.
And who's this?
Why do you have a different
look
uniform to
familiar
everyone
at all.
else?
Do you work here at the monastery?
Oh, Mercy! Do you think this is that mercenary people have been talking about?
Mercenary! Ha 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 ha.
Now that I think about it, that does sound like something Dimitri may have said. I suppose you'll be enrolling at the Officers' Academy too, then? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Mercedes, and this is my best friend.
I'm Annette. It's nice to meet you.
Okay.
I have heard all about what you did from Prince Dimitri. As a citizen of Fargus, I thank you.
He also said you're quite skilled. And he doesn't just say things like that. I look forward to sparring with you and beating you.
Felix, must you always speak of fighting right away?
I would think that most people would be like in an academy for fighting.
Oh, and, you may call me Ingrid. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
It'll be a pleasure to smack this guy in the face with a sword. Okay, I really am starting to think that they have this, like, different version of the same archetype in every class, because here we have, another very tall person and very short person.
Hi there. You must be the one everyone's talking about. I'm Ash.
Oh,
Great
I
to
love your
meet you.
freckles!
This here is Dedu. He serves Prince Dimitri.
I have heard that you rescued His Highness. Words cannot express my gratitude.
Yeah, you are definitely cute. People have been good for recommending you.
Should you ever require my strength, please know that I will hasten to repay this debt.
I like you, fancy man. You're the good fancy man. You'll balance out the chaotic energies of the other two fancy men. So, just to recap, all we know about them so far... This guy is Varian. He's just literally the same character. This guy is beefy, but apparently he's a bit forgetful. And this lady, we have no idea anything about her personality except that she knows our dad, so okay. And this girl over here looks weirdly like Edelgard's sister, and apparently is from some sort of noble family, so who knows. This guy over here is... well, he's probably going to be the designated nerd character, considering that's the only reason they give anime characters glasses for whatever reason. I have glasses in real life, and I am dumb as a brick. And also, apparently his father is a merchant or something, so that'd be interesting. I'd like to learn about everyone's families. Over here we have undefined pink-haired lady who I have no idea anything about except she has a vaguely cheerful voice. And, literally me as a woman, I guess. Okay. So in this house we have also Varian, also me reincarnated as an anime girl, fan service, undefined guy of personality we don't know but he's short, I guess, and sleepy man who sasses people a lot.
Thank you.
And Varian number 2, and actually very interesting transfer student from another country, and I'm excited to learn about her country. And then we have another undefined guy who also looks kind of similar to a lot of the other guys around here, and also the generic NPCs. More people who didn't really indicate their personality at all from talking to them, but we do know that 2 of them are best friends, and for some reason this one wears a different thing on her uniform. Wonder if that means anything, like is she like a special student of some sort? Girl who speaks fancy, and I'm not sure anything about her, and guy who speaks fancy and is also apparently a jerk, so he challenged me to fight immediately and was like, they say you're very good because you saved the lives of everyone. Well, I could have saved the lives of everyone too if I happened to be there. So, yeah. Dude, I would have been happy to fight you if you just asked more politely. Large fancy beef man who is very soft-spoken and nice compared to the other fancy men. He's not egotistical at all, and I already like him. And then we have small man with freckles who seems very pleasant. But again, one of the characters who doesn't really say much about their personality during the introduction, which isn't really a great way to introduce them. He just comes along and he says, hey, this is to do, he's like this. What are you like, Ash? Let me know you. Let me know you. So let's go chat to the head of house and see if we can learn anything more about him. Hear more about you.
Piqued your
Oh,
interest,
literally
have
I'm
I?
hearing their stats.
As luck would have it, I'm pretty curious about you as well.
Does everyone have to flirt with me?
But what's life without a bit of
That's
mystery?
weird, he's got high strength
Let's
for an
just
archer.
spend the next year or so learning about each other, little by little.
Exactly! You get me! Okay.
But what? He's the heir of Gloucester territory. If you haven't already picked up on it, he's a bit arrogant and fancies himself.
Okay, you are literally exactly the same as Virion. It would be quite funny if you actually turned out to be like a descendant of Virion or something.
That said, deep down he's really devoted.
He really is Virion
I
then!
wouldn't mind never hearing him talk about his noble obligations ever again. He comes from a merchant family, but his parents died in an accident. Seems like he's had a rough life.
Oh, I really like gentle giant characters who have like a sad story and they're very nice. Because I always feel sad when people judge people who are like tall and buff and they think that they're scary, and it's like, I don't get it. Why is so scary about someone who's like strong and able to protect the people they love?
Despite all that, he's just about the most cheerful guy you'll ever meet. His
Oh, I want to hug him! Be my bestie!
And actually, that's about it.
Same. Oh, goodie basket. That's so cute. He has a very good ability. Seems people have good abilities in this class.
He's the second son of a merchant family. Since his brother will inherit the business,
Oh,
he's training to become a knight.
I wonder how that will work out. So it's like he doesn't really want to be here, or like... Because I think being a knight isn't really something that would suit you. It doesn't look like you're a guy who enjoys knighthood. Like, shouldn't he become like a mage or something instead?
If you ask me,
or something
doesn't
where
seem like he
studying
truly
would like
wants
help
to be a
help
knight.
you and stuff.
He's probably just
exactly.
doing it to please his
See,
parents.
predictions. I am on your wavelength, Claude. Zoom.
Lysithea is the daughter of Count Ordelia, and is probably the youngest student here.
Oh, I definitely could not tell at all. Everyone kind of looks the same age in anime. That's why it's always so weird how they have people like dating older people in them because everyone looks the same.
But watch out, she gets angry if you treat her like a child. As for me, I do it on purpose. You have to make your own fun in
Oh,
this
Claude,
place,
don't be
you
a
know?
jerk. I know you're mischievous and all, but don't be mean to people about things they're sensitive about.
Marianne is Margrave Edmund's daughter, and that's pretty much all I know about her.
Well, just looking at her, I can tell that she has a very similar backstory to me, probably.
She doesn't interact much with other students, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks here have never even heard her speak.
Okay, I kind of want to join this house just for you. I want to know your story, and the fact that he mentioned your father immediately makes me think that you do have a similar backstory to me. If it turns out to be that father is some sort of arsehole, I hope you can actually meet him in battle and stab him in the face for what he's done to you. Usually, like, there are shy people, there are outgoing people, but usually people don't get looking like this.
Hilda is the only daughter of Duke Goneril. It seems her father and brother coddle her quite a bit.
Oh, well, that's learning a little bit more about her. So she's like this sort of spoiled character, maybe. Oh, and apparently according to her ability, she's supposed to also be a fan service character, I guess.
If you look up lazy in the dictionary, her picture won't be there because
so she is a
never got
spoiled
around to
character.
Submitting it. Not too unusual for a noble.
So I guess that is, every house has different takes on the same archetype. Like, there's a lazy character in the other house, right?
Leone enrolled because she wants to be a mercenary. I think she said that her father is a hunter.
Oh, cool, so she's a punch lady. I like that. That's good. I always end up being attached to the characters like gender non-conforming in these games, because usually in the Fire Emblem games they tend to be like very old-fashioned and sometimes kind of bigoted about gender roles. So I end up being attached to the characters who have like that. But in Awakening, the characters who were like, they always had characters, every other character like constantly make fun of them for like, oh, this guy looks like a girl, oh, this girl looks like a guy, oh, this girl acts like a guy and that means she must look like a guy. Like, in that game, like, Selly didn't look like a guy and Libra didn't look like a girl. They just look like a guy and a girl who had long and short hair, respectively. Like, everyone was throwing such a big fit about them having the most bare traits of gender non-conformingness. It's like, oh, okay. It was just literally, oh, here's a guy who has mildly long hair and enjoys being a priest. Here's a lady who has mildly short hair and is, like, good at fighting. Oh no, they must be the big scary trans. Also in that game, bloody the character Excelis, who was in the English dub, they did not say that this character was a trans woman. They translated them as having male pronouns, but they still continued making fun of him for being feminine, but in Japanese it was literally she was a trans woman, and if you played Tokyo Mirage Sessions you would immediately know that the dub had changed something and she was indeed a trans woman, because in that game she literally has had top surgery, HRT or something, and has boobs, so like, the dub doesn't even mention it, it just glosses over the fact that they're continuing to call her a man. It's very frustrating. That character's a total arsehole too, but it sucks that everyone would make fun of her for being trans rather than the fact that she is a total arsehole. Anyway, carrying on.
She's pretty blunt and as stingy as they come. A habitual saver, too. I think she's hoping to repay her village for helping to send her here.
Oh, she's a good, awesome person. I love her. And I love that she's got the same ability as the previous one, but it's like, it's got a different name. That makes sense. So, like, that's a fan service girly character, and this is the opposite of fan service non-girly character, but they both look equally, like nobody's look very fan service except that one lady with a tits out and the one teacher with a tits out, so, okay. I think this game actually has a lot better designs for female characters so far than Awakening did. Except for it just has the few designated fanservice characters. But I'd rather have a game where you have just a few designated fanservice characters than every woman, regardless of personality, wearing a weird titty costume. Okay, now how do we find everyone else to have a chat?
Please accept my apologies for the other day. You came to our aid, yet I hadn't even the courtesy to properly introduce myself.
Oh, don't worry about it. I haven't spoken a word since I saw you.
I am Dimitri Alexandra Blayford, Crown
Oh, are you the Welsh
Kingdom of
house?
Fargus.
I guess you're like the generally Celtic kingdom, I guess, because you've got like a Welsh surname and then like an Irish-sounding kingdom name?
Of course, at the academy, I am simply a student. And I've heard word that you are to become a professor here. Delightful news. I still have much to learn, but I'm confident I could benefit greatly from your guidance.
Oh, you are such a cutie patoot. I'm really worried that your optimism is going to be completely destroyed by this game. Because one thing I do know about Fire Emblem is anyone can die and a lot of people will.
In any case, welcome to the Monastery. I hear you're investigating the different houses here. Did any of the Blue Lions catch your attention?
Let's hear more about you.
Me? Oh, please forgive me.
Oh, he's so
it's
cute!
Difficult to open up on the spot, don't you think?
Oh, look at his little pose!
I'm afraid my story has not been a pleasant one. I do hope that doesn't color your view of me, but I understand if that can't be helped.
Oh, dude, anyone who judges you for having a sad backstory is a complete prick. Oh, and he's just not going to elaborate. Okay, that makes sense. Talking about something like that wouldn't be easy. I'm assuming we'll learn that more if we go on your route. I like it so far. His personality is not what I expected from him. When he came out there talking all fancy, I thought he was going to be the very end of this game, but instead he's just this really upbeat and optimistic, sort of shy person. I like that. And he does cute poses. Zoom. But his head does still kind of look like noodles. So I guess all the lords have an ability that multiplies experience, but just in different colours.
Dedu was born in Dusker, and has been loyally working in
Oh, so that's another country we haven't heard of. So I guess maybe every house has a character who's from a different country outside of the three countries?
He's rather taciturn, but once you get to know him, you'll see he's a kind and good-natured young man.
Yes, I love you! Every house needs a good, huggable beef.
Felix is the heir to House Fraldarius. He has a bit of a sharp tongue, but don't let that fool you. Deep down, he's a good guy.
Oh, so you're like Sword Variant.
He gravitates toward people who are skilled. Perhaps you would enjoy a friendly competition with him sometime.
Oh, so he was actually trying to be friendly. Oh, I feel bad for judging him now, so he does just, like, enjoy fighting with people. Oh, okay. I like that personality a lot better than the generic person who's like, oh, I'm your rival for no reason, I'll think you're bad for no reason, even though we just met. I would like a guy who actually just enjoys a friendly fight, because I enjoy a friendly fight. That's how I'd be in any of these games.
He's the adoptive son of Lord Lonato of Castle Gaspar, but I hear he was born a commoner.
So he's Casper Gaspard? No, wait, Casper was the other short guy.
He has an extremely earnest personality, so I'm certain he will approach your lectures with great enthusiasm.
Okay, if the head of Cinnamon Roll class is saying this guy's a particularly cinnamony roll, then oh my god, he must be the sweetest in the universe.
Sylvain is the heir to House Gautier. He is a capable person who highly values his friends.
Platonic Varian!
That said, well, he's always been a bit of a...
Oh, unplatonic Varian!
So to speak. Pardon my bluntness. I speak with him about it often, but it doesn't seem to help.
Oh, can you imagine how much of a fuck-up you have to be to have your head prefect come to you and be like, dude, stop chasing after the poon, you need to concentrate on your stabbing work. Like, seriously, if you're in a school for stabbing, you'd think you'd pay more attention.
I I hear she was born to imperial nobility, but a twist of fate.
Oh, I guess that's
brought her
why
to the
she's got a
kingdom.
more fancy uniform. So, like, she's the only non-prefect student who's a princess?
She may seem carefree on the surface, but she's actually a kind soul who pays careful attention to everyone around her.
What sort of carefree souls aren't kind? Is it possible to be carefree in a bad way?
Annette is Baron Dominic's niece. She is a talented student who scored extremely high marks at the Royal School of Sorcery.
Oh, cool, so we do have some mages.
She's cheerful and hardworking. Brilliant, really. Though she can be a bit oblivious at times. I hear she caused an explosion in the kitchen last night.
Okay, I like that as a character concept. You have this adorable little character who's also a literal magical firehouse who destroys everything. I'm excited about you, actually. I think I might join the Blue House.
Ingrid is Count Galatia's daughter. She is also a childhood friend of Felix, Sylvain, and myself.
Oh, that's cool. We get to hear about the relationship the house head has with the other characters. Didn't hear any about that with Claude, so does he not have many friendships with the other characters? Because he seemed like a very friendly guy.
She is diligent, industrious, and principled. In truth, she is more knightly than most knights you will ever meet.
Oh, do you have a crush on her? That'd be really cute. Maybe she's like his sister or something. They do have very similar coloured hair.
I appreciate your effort.
Okie doke. I haven't gone back to Edelgard yet. I haven't talked to Edelgard yet. Why am I haven't talked to Edelgard. I haven't talked to Edelgard. See, she's still glowing on the map. I haven't talked to Edelgard.
Okay. Me? Well, some think I'm a bit distant. Arrogant, even. But there's little to be done. One day, I must rise to become Adrestia's next emperor. What else? Well, it seems to me that we may have similar personalities.
Well, that helps a lot, considering I have no idea what my character's personality is at all.
Hubert is the heir of Marquis Vestra. He has served me since I was a child. You may think his blood runs a bit cold, but actually that's rather accurate. Still, if you can get past that, you'll see he's quite astute and reasonable.
Well, I hope you're correct and he doesn't turn out to be a secret evil traitor, because, well, like I said, they usually make those characters look very secret evil and traitory.
For some reason, he thinks of me as a bitter rival and is always trying to challenge me.
I didn't get that at all from talking to him.
It's terribly irritating.
See, couldn't they have shown that information from when you talked to him? It feels like it would have been easy to do that. To have him say, oh, join our class, I'll prove that you're better than Edelgard, or whatever.
His house is that of Duke Eyre, which produces Adrestia's prime ministers.
Wait, you have a royal family and a prime minister, so I guess it's like more like modern Britain.
He's remarkably intelligent, but he only wishes to apply himself to tasks that particularly interest him, and nothing else. He's also fond of, well, napping.
Oh my god, it's literally his battle ability!
If he had any work ethic or sense of duty to speak of, I suppose he would be destined to become an official of the Empire.
Okay, we've only had like one line of dialogue with this guy, but I already really like him because he's a sass man. And also big mood.
He's the second son of Count Burgleys. He has
Burgleys.
no inheritance in his future, which is perhaps why he's always so eager to prove himself.
Wait, does every house have a second son too? There are so many weird similarities. Is that like the rules for hiring students? You have to fit one of these archetypes?
He's overly energetic and rushes headfirst into any battle. If he ends up in your care, be sure to keep a close eye on him.
So he's a shonen protagonist. Gotcha.
She's Count Varley's only daughter. I suppose you could say she's a bit eccentric, but she seems like a gentle soul.
Okay, so this character is more like the me in anime form. Shy, but also weird as fuck.
I believe she's shut herself away in her quarters and doesn't care to leave, but don't
Big
worry.
mood!
I'll make sure she finds her way to class. Few commoners have joined the Black Eagle House, but Dorothea is an exception.
Dude, she looks more fancy than everybody else.
She's a songstress from a famous opera company in the Empire. I'm not entirely sure what brought her to the Officers' Academy.
Meeting the fan service quota?
To the west of Fodlan is an archipelago called Brigid. Petra is the granddaughter of their king. Brigid is a vassal state of the Empire, which is how she came to be enrolled here. She's incredibly smart and studious.
Oh, so their country's been taken over by this country. That kind of sucks. Okay, now we finished the mission. Thank you. I think we explored everything we could see at this point.
I hope you have found our halls brimming with the vitality of well-intentioned souls.
Are you burying guys beneath the floorboards?
I suppose it is time for you to take charge of one of our 3 houses of students.
Seriously, I'm not only being hired as a teacher out of nowhere, but I'm also being given one of the highest teaching jobs in the entire school out of nowhere.
I must note that I am personally against entrusting someone as lacking in
exactly
as yourself with such a task.
Sensible,
But
Shaggy!
it is as the Archbishop desires.
The Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and
again,
the
why are they not
Golden
the Red
Deer.
Eagle?
I hope you've made it a point to get to know each of them.
Okay, which house are you in so I can run away from it at the speed of light?
Since you are new here, we have decided to allow you first pick.
Oh, that's good. So no matter what I do, I'll be far away from
the
you.
remaining 2 houses.
Oh, okay, so that's got more of a description of what the actual country is like. So this is like the magic house. This is the military arts house. I suppose that means like soldiers. And yeah, archers, so that's gotta be fighting guys. Well, you know, the fighter class, everyone's fighting guys, obviously. Well, I like the personality of this house head the most. I was interested in a lot of the characters in this house the most, and the head, he seems to have some sort of like personal like backstory things. This one, it has one character. No, it has 2. It has 4 or 5 characters I'm interested in, but it also has a terrible fan service person who I hope has actually got more to her than being the fan service person. I don't really care too much for the head of the house, aside from that she's the only girl. I guess that's interesting, but like, all I know about her so far is she's a fancy person and he's a fancy person, but she's like a grumpy fancy person and he's a cheerful fancy person. And he's a non-fancy person. So actually I have no bloody idea. Yeah, I'll keep thinking.